Hi all, this is our second lesson in our transformation unit. We're talking about reflections today, and our essential question is, how do we complete a reflection? So we did most of the main vocabulary in our first lesson, so we just have basically one vocabulary word to work with, and I'm going to kind of blow this up so it's a little bigger here. So we're talking about reflections today. So as you can see, our word is in the middle. So everything around this will be about reflections. So a reflection, the description or rule says the figure is flipped over a line. Now that line can be an x-axis, a y-axis, it can be a diagonal line, any type of line. So it's just flipped over that line. And it's a reflection. So it's like you're looking in a mirror. It's a mirror image of itself. So our rules here, how we're going to write our rules, I guess you could say, is reflection over the x-axis, xy goes to x stays the same, y changes. So that's if it reflects over the x-axis. And if it reflects over the y-axis, the y stays the same and the x changes signs. So that's our rules. I'm not expecting you to memorize those, just so you know, but that's just how we're going to change them. So here is our example 1 here. Reflect the triangle over the x-axis. So first we need to know which one's the x-axis. Is the x-axis the one that goes up and down or the one that goes side to side? So, well, it's the one that goes side to side. So here's my x-axis. I want to reflect that over this line. So this is like my mirror surface. And so if you're looking in a mirror, everything looks about the same distance away from the mirror, right? So everything is the same distance away from my mirror. I'm using air quotes, mirror. So if I'm going to plot point A, it is 1, 2, 3 units away from my mirror. So on the other side, A prime should be 1, 2, 3 units away from the mirror, and that's A prime. And so what's the location of that point? Well, that point is 2. So A prime is 2, -3. And if we look at the rule, reflect over the x-axis, here's my rule. X stays the same and y becomes negative. So my x stayed the same and the y became negative. Okay, so B prime, it's 1 away, and so it'll be 1 on the bottom side. So there's B prime. And B prime is, let's see, 3, -1. And then we're going to do C prime. C prime is 2 away, 1, 2. So there's C prime. And there's my figure reflected over it. And C prime is at the location 1, -2. And that's our reflection. Okay, awesome. So now we're going to do example number 2. I'm going to reflect it over my y-axis. So I'm going to draw in what I'm reflecting it over. So I'm reflecting it over this line. If I have the same color, so like, oh, so sorry. If I have the same, sorry, I'm not sure why this is not erasing. Ooh, no. Let's see if it'll do that. Okay, there we go. Sorry. I'm like you and I have my homework and I only have my pencil or a pen, and I don't want the line my line of reflection to be the same, because a solid line means it's really part of the graph. I'm just going to draw a dashed line. Sorry, I almost forgot what I was going to say there. So my line is dashed. So I probably should have done that on example 1, but we're just talking about it now, so we're okay. It's okay. So now I'm going to reflect it over this axis. So I'm going to start with M, and I want to find M prime. And M prime is, how far away is it from my axis? Well, I know it's negative. I can look. I don't even have to count. It's -5 away from my mirror, which means it's going to be 5 away from my mirror on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this should be M prime. and that is 5, -3. 5, -3. And then A prime is, how far away from my mirror is it? Well, it's 2, so it should be 2 away here. A prime. So that should be 2, -3. And if you look, my rule is the same. My x changed, right? Here's my rule that I'm finding if it's over the y-axis. My x changed signs. It was negative, now it's positive, and my y stayed the same. So t prime is 2 away. So that's t prime. So that should be 2, -5. 2, -5. And then h prime is 5 away. So that should be h prime. That should be 5, -5. And there's my reflection of my little rectangle there, my little rectangle math. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the properties of it. The pre-image and the image are congruent. Remember, this sign means congruent, and congruent means equal, similar in shape and equal in size. Congruent. And the corresponding angles, so angle M and angle M prime are congruent. And corresponding sides, so MA and MA, are congruent because it's the same size, it's the same shape. It's equal in, it's similar in shape and equal in size. So it's equal, it's the same size, it's just moved a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and slide up to practice 1 and 2 here. Okay, so it says graph and label the pre-image and reflect it over the y-axis. So let's see, we're going to reflect over the y-axis. So I kind of want to have what I'm reflecting over. So I'm going to go ahead and graph my points. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this should be A. Okay, and B is 0, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B. So I'm going to connect that. And C is 1, 1 in C. Ooh, such straight lines. Okay, so there's my figure. And now I want to reflect it over the y-axis. So I'm going to just put a dotted line where my mirror is. Dashed line, dotted line. Okay, so there's my mirror. So A prime is how far away from my mirror? 1, 2, 3. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3. A prime. And A prime is located at -3, 4. Great. And B is on my mirror, so it's not going to change. B goes to B. It stays in the same spot. So why I name A and A prime different is because they're in different spots. But B is in the exact same spot, so it doesn't get a new name. It only gets a new name if it changes spots. So I wanted to talk about this example really well. So notice B didn't move at all, so B stays B. It doesn't become B prime, it stays B. And then we have C prime. C prime is 1 away from my mirror, so I'm going to be 1 away from my mirror on the other side. So that will be -1, 1. And I'm going to try and draw my lines a little straighter than I did on the other one. And there's my figure reflected over the y-axis. Okay, good job, you guys. So the next one says reflect over, oops. Sometimes I forget to change the highlighter here. Reflect over the x-axis. Okay, so we're going to graph it first. We're going to graph and label the pre-image and reflect it over the x-axis. So we've got -3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. I did it again. I forgot to change back to the pen. 1, 2, 3, 1. So this is E. Okay, E. And 2, -4. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is F. Fairly straight, that's pretty good. -5, -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is G. Okay. Oof. And there's my semi-straight lines for you guys. Okay, and then we're going to reflect it over the x-axis. So I'm going to do a little dotted line here again. Here's my mirror. Okay. And we're going to reflect it. So E is 1 away, so it's going to be 1 away up here, and this is going to become E prime. And E prime is located at -3, +1. And then F prime is how far away from my mirror? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's F prime, which is at 2, 4. And then G prime is how far away from my mirror? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's G prime, and it should be located at -5, 6. And let's finish our figure here so we can see that it looks like it's reflected even though my lines are not straight. So there's the mirror image of it. Okay, good job, you guys. So we have, I think, 3 more problems to do. Okay. Sorry, it's a little crooked here. Trying to straighten it out. Okay, here we go. It says, figure HJKL is reflected over the y-axis. What would the coordinates of is reflected over the y? What would be the coordinates of the new image? Wow, I'm reading really well. Okay, so I'm reflecting it over the y-axis, which is here. Okay, and we want to find out the new coordinates. So let's see. So I want to put my letters in alphabetical order. I know it's kind of strange, but that's what we're going to do. So I want to find the coordinates of H, and H is located at where? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay, and it's going to go to H prime, and H prime is, we're reflecting over the y-axis, so it's 4 away, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be H prime, and that is located at -4, 3. Good. And then we're going to go to J, and J is located at 2, 3. And we're going to go to J prime. So J is 2 away, so 2 away, so J prime. And that is located at -2, 3. And then we're going to go to K, which is located at 1, 1. And that's going to become K prime. So it's 1 away, K prime, which is located at -1, 1. And our last point is going to be L, which is located at 1, -2. And we're going to go to L prime, which is 1 away and 1 away. So this is L prime. So that's -1, -2. Okay, and that should be a reflection of HJKL. H prime, J prime, K prime, L prime. Okay, pretty good, not too bad. Okay, so here we go. The vertices of a triangle ABC, find the coordinates of its reflection over the x-axis. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and plot the points and reflect it over the x-axis. So I've got point A is -4, 1, 2, 3, 2 here, so this is A, and B is 4, -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, I think I put I'm pretty sure I did. Put that in the wrong spot. It's 4, -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. There we go. There's A. And B is 4, -1. 2, 3, 4. B. And C is 1, -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here's C. So let's make our triangle here. So here's our figure. And we're going to reflect it over the x-axis. So here's my axis. Okay, so we're going to reflect it over that. So I've got A is -4, -2, and it's going to become A prime, which is, it's a mirror over the x-axis, so it's 2 away, so it's going to become 2 away. So here is A prime, and that is at -4, 2. Beautiful. And point B is located at 4, -1, and it's going to go to B prime, which is 1 away from my mirror, so 1 away here. So this is B prime. So that's going to be 4, +1. And I'm just going to go ahead and connect that. And then C is 1, -6. And it's going to go to C prime, which is 6 away. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 up. So this should be C prime, which is located at 1, 6. And there is my triangle reflected over the x-axis. Okay, great job. One last question, I think. And then you guys have a few problems to do. So here we go. If trapezoid MNPR is reflected over the x-axis, what would be the coordinates of the new image? So we have, it's reflected over the x-axis. So here's my x-axis. And then, what is the first one? M. Point M is at 1, 2, 3, -5, 3. And it's becoming M prime. It's 3 up, so it should be 1, 2, 3 down, M prime. So that should become -5, -3. And then N is at point -1, 3, and it's going to become N prime, and it's 3 up, so it should be 1, 2, 3 down. So that should be -1, -3. And oops, I forgot to label it, sorry. And then P is at the point -2, 0. And it's not changing, it's right here. So P stays P, which is -2, 0. And then R is at -4, 0. And guess what? It doesn't change either because it's on my line of reflection. So that's -4, 0. So P and R stay the same. And here is my figure. Okay, awesome, you guys. Okay, we have a few problems to do, and then you have your quiz to work on, or your checkpoint, and we will see you for the next lesson. Have a great day. Bye.